Hi everybody, this is Ellen. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a happy stick of gum. Just a super simple one, I think, but I know that a lot of people ask me for a lot more simple ones, but it's cute, and I think that I'll expand on this one in the future here before too long. But it's just a stick of gum. This one would be my Wrigley Spearmint gum. For bands, there are 98 for the kind of silver foil wrapper, and then the middle portion, the light green in this one is 156 bands, and then there are 12 dark green bands. And then for the eyes I use 7mm pony beads, but you can use bands, I'll show you how, and then the cheeks and the mouth. So we'll get started. First with the eyes, like I said, I use 7mm pony beads, and those are just smaller pony beads available at Michael's. I've found them. What you want to do is, if you're going to use these, you'll need a piece of craft wire, string, thread, or floss, anything you can get into a V shape, and then you'll take two bands. They're going to be the main portion color of your stick of gum. Put them into that fold, and then you stick your wire, string, thread, floss into your bead and pull it down. Just threading it on there because it's too small to put the bands through otherwise. So you want two eyes that way. If you don't have the beads, you can use a wrapped band. It's just one band, whatever color you want the eye to be, on the hook, wrapped around into a figure 8. Then you grab both bands, wrap them around again, and then pull through two bands that are the color of your middle wrapper, like that. So you want two eyes, either way you're going to do it. And then there's the cheeks. They're made the same way as the eyes if you do it on the hook. Just whatever color you want the cheek. Wrap it around to the figure 8, grab both bands, wrap them around again, and then pull through two bands that are the color of your middle wrapper. So two cheeks. And you'll have those ready, and then we'll get started. One loom, wrong end towards us. I'm just going to work in the middle here. We're only on about 6 pins. So first, starting with your foil wrapper color. This is an off-brand of bands, very sticky, not fun to work with. I'm going to try using some of the kind of glitter metallic bands and see how those work out. Otherwise just gray would work too. But everything's double banded unless I say differently. But we're going to make some X's on the loom first. So two bands going from left to right, and then right on top of that you go from right to left. We'll do that again. Like that. Then these two pins are going to get cap bands. It's two bands wrapped around once and then twice. And the same thing on the other side. Once and twice. And then starting over on this side, because it's the band on the bottom, you go through the cap band, grab the bottom two bands, pull them up through, and then back towards the other side. Then go in the other cap band, grab the bottom two bands, pull those back towards themselves. And then starting over here, because that's where the band is on the bottom, grab the bottom two bands, pull those back, and then the other side. Like that. Push those down. And now we're going to do 3 rows all the way around. It's all double banded. Like that, and then you'll flip your bottom 4 bands over. So they're tight. Push down. We'll do our second row. Like that. push down, and then a third row. And again. Fingers don't work. I'm going to push those down. Then you can unstick the middle portion. Like that. So you put our end wrapper part color away for a little while. And you want to grab the color that you're going to use for the main wrapper, the light green in this one. It's going to be yellow in this one. Make some juicy fruit. It's 2 bands, and we're going to puff all 6 bands around. So to puff them, you take your hook, stick them through the bands on the pin, hook 2 bands, pull them up through, put both ends on your hook. Then you take the bands off the pin, and then the ones that are on your hook are going to go back onto the pin. And you'll do that for every one around. So again, through the bands on the pin, pull 2 bands up, both ends on your hook, pull the bands off the pin, and then replace with the other bands on your hook. I remember as a kid, you know, gum was something you could just probably con your parents into getting most times, and we would always go for, like, there was the bubblegum tape, because it seemed like there was so much gum and it had the cute little case and you get to play with it. And then of course there was Big League Chew. I don't see it very often nowadays, but it's just like shredded gum in this little chew bag. I suppose that's probably why it's not out anymore, because it's kind of smoking related, but it was just big gobs of gum. So like that all the way around. So now we're going to do 1 row around, still the 2 bands, purple or grape was usually the flavor, but it was, pull out your gum and you chew on it and you roll your little bag back up, and like that. Flip over the bottom 4. Push down. And now here's where we add our little like stripe lines to our stick of gum. So it's just whatever color you want that to be. I'm going to use some white. And we're going to put cap bands on all the pins. It's just 1 band on the pin and then wrapped around 1 time. So put those on every pin. Push them all down. Then we'll do a row right on top of those with the main wrapper color. Like that. And then when you go and you flip, you'll flip over, I usually flip over the bottom 4 first, so my yellow, and then I'll flip over that cap band as well as I go around. So bottom 4, and then flip the cap band. Push down. Now we're going to do 3 rows all the way around with our main wrapper color. This is our first row. It's funny how many times I think of candy like this. Put the bottom 4, and like I think about the ones I had when I was younger, and you can't find them, a lot of them anymore. They've changed them, or like I think I talked before about how I was so mad when they changed the peanut butter Twix recipe. They ruined it, and then they recently just changed it back, which was, that was kind of funny because I just complained about it, I think, to you guys. So I got those back. So our second row all the way around, but they weren't quite the same. They still were, the cookies were harder, so it wasn't as enjoyable. I know, I complain about such horrible things in life. And then, let's see, trying to think, Nerds ropes, like this. Flip the bottom 4. I don't see those very often. They're just basically licorice with nerds on them. I don't know why I like them. I think it's just they're colorful and crunchy. I don't know. Now we'll do our third row around. Oh yeah, with bubble gum. I remember when I was growing up, they had the bubblegum cigarettes, I guess they were. Like this, flip the bottom 4, where they were, looked like they were a pack of cigarettes, and they were, each one was wrapped in paper, and if you blew on it, there was like confectioner's sugar or something, so it looked like you could puff smoke out the end of it. Obviously those are not around anymore. Probably a good thing. So that's our 3 rows. Now next is going to be our eye row. So you want your eyes. There'll be 2 bands down here at the bottom. Eyes will go with these 2 spots. And then it's 2 bands around the rest. I remember those. I don't even think I remember associating them with smoking. I mean, obviously you do, especially now that I'm older, I think about that. Like that. Flip the bottom 4. It's probably a good thing they don't have them anymore. Smoking's bad for you, unfortunately, for many people who get hooked on it. My PSA, do not smoke. It's bad for you. Next row is our cheek row, but before we go, we're going to put our mouth band onto this middle pin here. It's just whatever color you want the mouth to be. Put it on the pin, wrap it around 1 time, like that, and push it down. Then we'll put our cheek row on. Band here, and then our cheeks go in the next 2 spots. Like that. So you flip over the bottom 4 all the way around, and then with that mouth band you'll flip that over after you flip over the bottom 4 in the front. So flip over that bottom 4 and then flip over your mouth band. Like that. Now that we have that, we're going to do 2 rows all the way around with your main wrapper color. I also had candy cigars when I was a kid. All these bad things for kids. Like that. It's amazing I turned out so well. I survived. All the things that I don't let my kids do now that I did as a kid. Or at least I tell them not to do. They still do it a lot of times. because kids will be kids and they have to explore. Another row all the way around. Miss Violet she's 2, so she's started telling me no. Like that. Flip the bottom 4. And it's over like, you know, come here so you can change your clothes. No. Come here so I can change you. No. Come here so you can have a cookie. No. It's like, kid, I don't think you understand quite what that word means. And if you do, you're only hurting yourself. So now we're going to put the cap bands back on again. So same thing as before, just one band, whatever color, on the pin wrapped around. Like that. Then we'll do a row around. That. So again, you flip the bottom 4 and then flip over your cap band. Took my little man to the dentist yesterday. He was so good. He just sat there all nice, and it really helped that the dental hygienist was really good too. She had cute names for all the tools, and he was so proud of himself. So once you do that, we're going to do 2 rows all the way around, still with the main wrapper color. Like that. Flip the bottom 4. He's so tiny sitting in that big chair too. And one more row all the way around. I feel like I've been living at the dentist lately. I've had the orthodontist for myself and then my 2 oldest kids, and then Grayson's going to the dentist, and been trying to find a dentist to do a crown for me. So I was one of these unfortunate people who genetically was missing a tooth in my back, like that. There's like people who are uber lucky and they don't have any wisdom teeth. They never come in. They don't have any. I'm like, why couldn't I have been one of those people? Because I had all 4 of my wisdom teeth that had to be removed. But instead I had another tooth that I never had, and so I need to get a crown fixed on it. They're so expensive. So like that. So now what we're going to do is puff all of them with our foil color again. So again, the 2 bands, pull them up. Replace them on the pin. But I actually think it's kind of awesome to have a crown, because it just means that I have a permanent teeth, so when I get older, hopefully I won't lose my teeth. But if I do, I'll have some sweet anchors to put my dentures on. Don't worry, my teeth are fine. I'm not scary. Just crowns are only good for so many years, then you have to get them replaced. Unfortunately, it's time. So like that, we have it all puffed. Now we do 3 rows all the way around. So this is our first row. My husband was like, you know, since we're going to be spending all this money on your teeth, you know, maybe you could do something for me too. Like what? What do you want? It's like, I don't know, just some toys. I'm like, well, technically what I'm doing is a medical expense. He's like, yeah, but it's like thousands of dollars. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's not my fault. Genetics. That's our first row. We'll do our second row. But he doesn't know, and since none of you guys will tell him, it's time for him to get an upgraded, different wedding band because he is, well, 1, lost weight. That's our second row. Flip the bottom 4. Lost weight, and the original ring that I gave him, I had an inscription on the inside that pretty much took up the whole entire inside of the ring, so there's no way that we can size it without ruining that. So I need to get him a new ring, and I have picked it out, and it is on order to replace his ring. So it's probably not quite what he has in mind, but so here's our third row all the way around. But I think that he'll be happy, because the other day we were getting ready to go out to the in-laws, and he's like started freaking out and was like, oh my god, where is it, where is it? So I flip the bottom 4 on this last row here, and I'm like, what? He's like, I can't find my ring, it fell off my finger. I'm like, yeah, you probably should find that, shouldn't you? So he's freaking out and looking all over, and I like walk into the bedroom and just kind of glance around, and there it is right there on the floor. I'm like, found it. He's like, he was so freaked out, it was hilarious. If you could have been there. Alright, so we have the 3 rows. So all we're going to do is just close it by braiding it. So we'll pull all this up, unstick it. Now I'll start on the right side, go in through the bands over there, pull them off, come over to the left side, pull them off, and then I'll pull the left side through the right side. Then I'll come back to the right, pull those up. And sometimes I don't even take them off the pin really, but just pull those through what's on my hook. And come to the other side, pull those through what's on my hook. And then come back, pull those through. And then I'll get the last 2 sections on my hook. Then I'll take 2 bands, pull them through both ends back on my hook, make a slip knot. And then we'll hide our tail, and I can see that there's kind of one side where it would fit better when I pull the knot in. I'll take my hook up through the inside, come up through there, grab my tail bands and pull them through, and I'll pull until the knot disappears as best as I can, although I'll probably have to fix it when I loosen the braid. But I'll pull that in, and then I'm going to go back and loosen the braid so that it's flatter on the top. So we just have so much tension when we're pulling on them that it distorts it a little bit, so I just want to adjust that. And you might have to fix that first row. So get it nice and flat on the top, and then you will have to go and adjust where the puffing bands were, because there was tension that we need to fix. So you just want to pull kind of that last row. So I'm going to pull the wrapper band towards the end all the way around. And then you'll pull the end bands down towards the wrapper. And do that all the way around as well. Like so. And of course you want to do the same thing on the other end. I don't know if you can hear my clock, but it's driving me nuts. I got a new clock for my room here, and it's just, it seems like the ticker is extremely loud. Alright, so I have those. I can definitely tell that these bands are kind of thicker than the other ones I used previously, but they're not too bad. I think my yellow bands are thinner and my silver bands are thicker. So then you might need to go around too and kind of tuck in the little cap bands so that they're not pokey. But when you're all done, you have a sweet little happy piece of gum, or happy stick of gum. And then I think that, like I said, I'll expand on this, so probably maybe 2 or possibly 3 of them for a future project. So hopefully you found this easy to do and you can make your own little part of the happy food creations. I know it's a big thing where people wanted to, they felt that my stuff was getting a little too complicated, so hopefully this one will help with those of them who need to step into something a little bit easier right away instead of jumping into some of the more difficult ones. But I think they're cute. I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I definitely appreciate it. If you make any of these, you can share them with me on my Instagram, which is at Crafting Fantastic, or on my Facebook page, which is feelinspiffy or Crafting Fantastic. And then, of course, don't tell my husband about the ring that he's getting, because he needs that upgrade. So, you know, gotta mark your territory when you get married. You know, you get that little wedding ring. So, but hopefully I will, not hopefully, I will have more tutorials soon. And happy looming, and enjoy your gum.